So in this video we're going to do our ABCs and our 3R's. So we're going to do our ABCs, which are our hindquarter yield, forehand yield and back up. And those are like the words that make up, no, those are like the letters that make up the words. And then eventually we can write paragraphs and then we can write stories. So we're going to start off with the hindquarter yield. So shall I demonstrate first and then you can have a go? Okay, so I'll just move into some space away from this cone. So I'm going to ask his inside hind leg to step underneath and through like that. I'm going to keep his head tipped towards me so that for safety, because if his head's tipped towards me, his bottom's going to go the other way. I'm just going to walk in an arc towards his inside hip with my inside hand up. And then I'm going to release when he's taken a nice step underneath. Good boy. So that's the first R of my 3R's. So I release when I get what I want, I reward, I give him a fuss, and then I relax and just stand for a moment so that he understands that he did what we were after. So you come and have a little go. That's it. That's it. So lift the inside hand up a little bit. Right, now you walked backwards there and that made him go backwards. So think about walking in a bit of an arc towards his inside hip. That's it. Okay, and release. Good. Okay, so that was a good start. So he stepped away and under with that inside hind leg, but I'm going to be a bit picky because he stepped towards you with the inside foreleg. So we want to get control of that inside foreleg. Okay, so keep that inside hand up a little bit more and feel that he, if anything, he's going to step away from you with that inside foreleg. Okay, let me have another little look and see. Good boy. So let's have the end of the rope in your right hand, this end of the rope in your left hand. Come on. Good boy. Did you see how that inside foreleg moved away there? So just have a little bit more energy towards his inside hip, and you can, if you need to, just touch him gently with it and just remind him to walk away. That's it. So that was better. Good. And release, reward and relax. Okay, right, so we're going to ask for the hindquarter yield this way. So remembering that when the stick's up, that means something, and when you release, you're going to pop your stick down. So that means like chill out. Good. And then stick down. Good. Very good. Well done. Super job. And one more. And then stick down. Good. Well done. Very good. So now we're going to do the back up. Okay. So this one's going to help with your timing as well, your timing of your release. So he understands the verbal cue to go backwards. Okay, so but you could use whatever word you want. You could say back or whatever you want. But to start with, if your horse doesn't understand the verbal cue, I would use just something that he does understand. So if we were teaching him, thanks, good boy, I would literally just ask him to go back. Good boy. And you can see there's hardly any pressure on the lead up there. Good boy. But if your horse didn't understand that, you could back it up with the stick if you needed to. So if nothing was happening, I know you've been learning how to do that. That is so clever. So you could back it up with a stick. I know that is so clever, but not what we're after. Good boy. Clever boy. I know. Right. So, and you're going to think about the timing of your release. So think about how many steps you want, and you're going to release when you're happy. So when you're starting off teaching this, you might just release on just one step, but he's quite good. So you might say 3 or 4, something like that. Right. Just sort your rope out. So you might want the end of it in your right hand. And you sort of think of it as like a dial. So to start with, you might need to apply a little bit of pressure on the lead rope, but as soon as he's going, turn that dial down so you're hardly having to use any. And if he slows down, then turn it back up again. Well done. Okay, right, so come back to the middle again. So think about the order of the cues. So let's imagine we're just teaching him and he doesn't know anything, okay? So let's just start off with the pressure on the lead rope one, okay? Sort your knitting out, keep the end of your rope in your right hand, just in case there's an emergency. I know, Happy, so clever. Go on then, so back you go. Good. Well done, good. Okay, so now we're happy that he understands the physical cue on the lead rope. So now let's see if he can just do it off the verbal. So come back again. So we're going to apply the new cue, old cue principle, okay? So you're going to do your new cue, which is a verbal, then pause, see if there's any flicker of like, yeah, I get it, I know what's happening. And if he doesn't go, then you're going to back it up with the old cue that he does understand, the pressure on the lead rope, okay? Good, I'd release on that one and give him a fuss. Well done. It wasn't the most amazing few steps, but at least it was like, yeah, I understand that verbal cue. Okay, so we'll try that again, and we might want to encourage him just to be a bit more enthusiastic about it, okay? Well done. Okay. Perfect. Right, come back to the middle again. I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit more, okay? So imagine you're asking a dog to sit. If you said sit, 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 then the cue becomes sit, sit, sit rather than just sit. So you used our noise for back all the time there. So think about, use the noise, and if he goes, be quiet until he slows down again and then use it again, okay? Yes, and release on that one. Super, well done. Right, so now we've got our hindquarter yield, we've got our back up, now we're going to do our forehand yield, okay? So can I just show you how I start it off so you can keep hold of the stick for this one? Mm-hmm. So this is like my Billy Basics, like step one, okay? So I'm going to imagine that there's a line in a circle on the floor, right? And I'm going to walk in that circle. So I'm pointing my belly button towards the side of his face. And I'm going to push his cheek. He's doing it already. I'm going to push his face away from me. Good boy, it's all right, we're not going backwards. And then I'm going to use my fingers on his shoulders to ask him to take his front legs over. Okay? If he tries to walk out of it, I would just back him up a little. Okay, so that is step one. And we're going to just think about how his feet are positioned before we ask for it. So you can see there that that left foot is slightly in front. So that's perfect because he's going to find it easy to cross over in front of himself there. So I'll take the whip off you for this one. So think about how many steps you're going to ask for. Maybe 2, 3, because he's quite good at it. And then release and reward on that, okay? Very good. Right, let's tighten that up a little bit. So let's have your hand a little bit closer to the snap on the lead rope, okay? And really think about walking in this arc. So think about you walking towards me. So you make it more of a pirouette. That was a circle. So there, he just moved his hind leg around. Okay, so let's go back to just one step. So organise his feet so his left foot's in front. Whoops. Oh, he says I'm getting confused. Come back to the middle again. That's it. And then stop. Okay. Not that one, darling. Good. And stop. Good. Perfect. So what we want is for the front end to travel and the hind leg to step on the spot like that. Okay. So it's like a pirouette. So what he did that time, the first time, he just walked around in a circle. So if that happens and there's some kind of misunderstanding, you think, right, I'm just going to go back to just asking for one step and getting it really good. Okay, so ask again. And stop. Perfect. Good boy. And there he's slightly crept forward, so stepping back a touch. That's it. Good. Yeah, and stop. Whoa! And he's walked out of it again. So, can you see how he's jiggling and wiggling around you? Okay, so let me just show you again. I'll let you have the stick. So this is where you need full, you need to be so clear in your mind about what you're after, and you need it to be precision. Okay. Back. Good. No, not that way. That is clever, but not what we're after. Happy, no. Good boy. Woo. Clever man. Good boy. So you see how he stopped straight away rather than pushing forwards and trying to wiggle around you. So come and have another little go. And stop. Yes. Better. Much better. And see if you can get another one from there. Very good. Super job. Well done. And obviously you would do it from both sides, but for the purposes of the length of the video, we're just going to do one side. Okay, so this is my slightly more advanced version of the forehand yield. Because if eventually we're moving towards wanting to do it at liberty, happy, we want to do it without touching the rope. Okay, so we're going to use, his feet are positioned perfectly there, look. We're going to use the end of the stick to move his nose over and the tip of the stick to encourage the shoulder to go. Whoop. Good boy. Good boy. So we release when we get a couple of steps and give him a little scratch. Let's go again. Ooh, good boy. What a clever. So we release, reward and relax. That's our 3R's, and that's how he knows he's done a good job. Right, let's see if you can do that, Beth. So a little bit more precision driving. So that's it. Good. So gently push the nose over with this. Yeah. And woo. Well done. Good timing with your release and your reward. Well done. Very good. Let's see if we can do one more. Go on. This is his new trick that he's been learning, in case you're wondering what that's all about. And woo, good. Back him up. Okay. So good, well done. Right, let's just go for 2 precision steps this time and then woo. Take the nose first. Good, and woo. Good boy, perfect, well done, super job. And then eventually this control of the shoulder is going to build up into our next video, which is going to be how we start lunging. Very good.